We'll wait for couple like few more minutes, and then at 6:05 we are going to be start with the session.
Okay, sir.
So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 2 on the journey with faculty development program on data analytics with IBM Cognos.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, madam. Am I clearly audible to all the participants? You can see the technical presentation.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, madam.
Can I give a brief information about yesterday the FTP? Shall I?
Back? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening to one and all the participants here. On behalf of our institution, I welcome to all the participants, to all present here to the FTP on data analytics with IBM Cognos. Yesterday, Mr. P. Mohan sir has discussed about the concept of business intelligence. He also explained the process of data integration, processing, and presentation. Now we are familiar with ETL architecture and data analytics and its types. Sir also elaborates the application of data analytics in businesses. Today, Sir is going to discuss about Cognos Analytics and its features. I request to Mr. P. Mohan sir to kindly start the session.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir.
Thank you, Malika ji. Once again, good evening and welcome to all the esteemed participants here. So this is day 2 of this evening on faculty development program on data analytics with IBM Cognos. I've shared already the presentation. Hope everybody could see clearly. We'll go with our regular guidelines. All participants are requested to mute their microphones during the technical session. For any queries or doubts, you can just ping me on the Zoom chat and on the live chat alongside with the presentation. This is the agenda for this evening on day 2 for this session. In this session on day 2, we would first start with understanding Cognos analytics environment with a quick overview. We'll go in-depth understanding of IBM's Cognos business intelligence platform. We'll also look about the rich features of Cognos BI, which enable us to understand why this virtual training FDP, we have chosen Cognos as the business intelligence platform when we already have other competitor market product tools like Tableau, Power BI, etc. We would complement on the features and the selection of this as our learning paradigm. Then we would also learn today by beginning our initial hands-on experience by learning how to connect data sources on various varieties to Cognos Analytics. We will sign into Cognos Analytics. Prerequisite for this, I hope all participants already received some basic information on how to register on the IBM cloud from the support team and have completed the registration. We will understand how to upload a simple data file into Cognos Analytics Workbench. What are the different types of data sources Cognos actually supports the connections? the data connections we would explore. Then we would also have a deep look into the ecosystem elements, starting from what are data modules in Cognos. The building blocks of Cognos ecosystem is data module. And we'll also have a glimpse about the most phenomenal elements of Cognos, that is a quick lookout at dashboards and story points. Then the session ends with participant Q&A. At the outset, this is the brief agenda or workflow for this day 2 evening session. Welcome everybody once again to the day 2 of the FDP. Let's start with the overview. Yesterday, we had a quick introduction and in-depth understanding of why and what of business intelligence and how organizations are transforming themselves into more smarter, matured, and capable data-driven decision-making environments. Cognos lays the emphasis for its induction into the data analytics spectrum by focusing on 3 important KPIs. One is any organization which is trying to re-engineer from a legacy IT or monolithic IT into much more smarter environment would need 3 important points to consider. One is when you are planning to do data analytics for an organization or welcome the opportunity of data analytics, the platform should have certain important characteristics. One is it should be a self-served analytical platform. That is, the environment should provide rich features, technical as well as other tangible, intangible parameters with which the users of the environment should get an immersive experience. That is, all end-to-end analytical exploration possibilities must be made available in the data analytics technological platform. Fortunately, Cognos considers this as the foundation and very important criteria, which makes it one of the most predominant platform in the market, staying ahead of the other competitors like Tableau, Power BI, Salesforce, etc. Second most important and the backbone of Cognos Analytics is its data governance system. What is data governance is, we have multiple technology platforms ranging from a simple information system to a decision support or to an executive information system. While most of these are either standalone, that is, they operate on-premise in the environment, or they might also work on web-based or cloud-based repositories. Either way, Cognos captures these working characteristics of all the other competitive tools and encompasses within it a very high, robust and sophisticated data governance system. The idea of encouraging project team collaboration, data asset upload and management facilities are all highly easily manageable and scalable and secure. That's why with a high robust data governance system being one of the prominent factor, Cognos establishes its identity in the analytical workbench. Besides these two, the end user experience who have been using Cognos architecture in the real world for implementation have experienced a reality that, like as other tools which are user-friendly, flexible, manageable, and scalable, Cognos also is likewise much smarter and provides greater operationalizing BI. That is, as the complexity of the business processes grow by time and dimension, Cognos adapts with its agility and AI-powered capabilities to do robust analytics. Any platform of data analytics, if you would like to choose for your research activity, learning, or implementation, should essentially possess these 3 initial characteristics. How does IBM Cognos actually redefine a business? While business intelligence is the need of the hour for any organization, it's not sufficient enough if any tool or technology could offer to a meager BI capability. On top of BI capabilities, there should be some flexibility or facilities or some convenience with which analytical experiments can also be carried out. That's why selecting an IT vendor for conducting BI or BA is a great opportunity for learning as well as exploration for organizations. One can choose from a plethora of platforms available. People still do data analytics with application software like Microsoft Excel from a basic to an intermediate level. But when we talk about real-time project collaboration, where data artifacts, data assets, visual analytical dashboards, report management, translating data into easily readable, manageable story points, and also value-added real-time collaboration and sharing of those resources. When all these kind of rich features are brought together in a single place, one can imagine such an environment as the IBM-powered Cognos Analytics. That's why, rather than venturing into more complex IT infrastructures, a good and best practice for organizations is to use smarter analytics environments. Cognos has its identity in the smarter analytics platform along with its competitors. How does smarter analytics actually makes the organization much more capable and mature? Why we consider Cognos as smarter? Once we start venturing into the application usage hands-on, one could experience the richness, the appeal feel of utilizing such enhanced, much improved and matured IT product. That's why users from different industry verticals who have understood the features of Cognos have proven their experience that this is one-stop shop tool that could actually, or a web-based BI tool that could add more value to their data processing and management activity. In essential, a smart service analytics system is one which should provide a platform for the beginner or end user such a way that it should be self-guided authoring, that is data creation, data management in the content repositories, or conducting analytical explorations, pre-processing activities, or even to predictive modeling activity. All these rigor shall be made available on easy to drive work environment. Such environments are typically called smarter self-managed analytical service environments. Apart from being more flexible and user-friendly agile, the capability of the analytical environment should lie at the core of generating rich insights. Because in our yesterday's day one session, if you recall or recap, most of the efforts of the business intelligence, data warehousing, data mining, or analytical implications were centered around how can voluminous varied data, exploding data or big data, can turn into rich insights which otherwise would be synthesized into actionable data-driven decision making to empower the operational organizational excellence. That's why we need to look into, besides the rich features, how can one unlock the potential value of the data with little or minor efforts. Like there are other platforms which are code-based platforms, like the open source programming language like R, which is highly a statistical environment, Python, rich in its programming capability with robust data analytics, machine learning, AI, with low code or typically to say no code restrictions for beginners. This is another environment that would ease the job of the data analyst or data scientist or an analytical researcher. Besides being the functionally capable, one of the most important characteristic of any analytical system that would handle a mammoth of data is the maintenance of the reliability, that is the trust and secure nature. Because Cognos basically operates on a web-based platform with a backend architecture, which I'm going to reveal now soon. Cognos platform still provides a greater degree of trust, reliability, and security for end users who upload their data sets of varied formats and who try to manage on a scalable platforms. That's why when we publish our data, whether it is a corporate data or a research-oriented data or any other kind of publicly available data, Cognos maintains a greater degree of level of security at each level to ensure confidentiality, privacy of the data. This is one of the most important appealing feature of Cognos as well as other cloud-based technologies for data analytics. So these are all the technical reasons that one should understand as a beginner. What makes Cognos as one of the most preferred platforms for business intelligence in today's data analytics environment. Now, coming to the core of the discussion of today, what is Cognos BI? A very premium product from the reputed IT firm IBM that has been brought to be accessible by everybody and anybody via web-based interface. If you have an internet connection and if you have a service credential registered on the IBM platform, you are ready to start your data analytics journey with IBM Cognos BI suite. Suite here is because a suite refers to collection of tools and experiments that one can explore in Cognos to have the data analytics enrichment. Typically, Cognos BI Intelligence Suite or platform brings forward to the user primarily the capability to build analytical reports. Thus, the fundamental focus is on transforming data into information reports through easy to use exploratory and visual data modeling practices. While reports typically constitute of rich insights and patterns or trends from the data, the reports are so easy to construct and share and collaborate with project teams and other stakeholders in the organization. They are also easy to interpret and analyze. The methodical way that users publish the reports makes end user or any layman to easily grasp the essence of the report management. Then we also have other facilities that would make the Cognos Analytics users to transform the data into more potential value through easy to use web-based navigation interfaces like step-by-step results that would yield out the better decisions that can be made out to improve the business. How does the architecture of Cognos look like? Presenting to you the Cognos BI architecture. Being a web-based platform, unlike the client server, which is two-tier, Cognos BI works in a three-tier platform. Cognos BI allows anybody to have an easy-to-use access interface via a browser, typically to enter into the platform online. Essentially works with three elements, such as the XML, that is web interchange format, that is each user interaction via the web browser to the Cognos server backend essentially is managed in the web interchange format managed by the XML. While the essential protocol of communication that Cognos uses is the SOAP protocol, that is simple object access protocol, and the communication that user maintains to the Cognos is via WSDL, stands for Web Services Definition Language. Why these many type of integrators are required in designing the architecture of Cognos is all these tools exist as an independent entities, strengthening the platform to be more reachable and operable. So at the outset, these three can also be elaborated functionally, if you see, can be broken down into web servers, application tier, and the database tier. That is, the architecture can be better understood. Cognos has three tiers. As I said, to enter into the Cognos Analytics platform, we go through a web-based interface, typically the cloud IBM platform. Once you sign up and register your credential and try to sign in, you get access to the Cognos web server via the gateway. The gateway acts as the preliminary check to permit the authentication and authorization of the registered user and provides an access permission for the end user to go into the Cognos Analytics homepage. So this is tier 1 where the web server comes into play. Between the browser and the Cognos web server, there is a network firewall that does the stringent authentication and authorization. Proceeding to the tier 2, where the actual applications are available, application server consisting of the content management or the dispatcher. These are all the core of the IBM Cognos here. The application server provides several facilities to actually enrich the analytical experiments consisting of data modules, dashboard creation and management, report generation management, story point creation and management. Different kind of application functionalities are managed by the application server at tier 2. While being a web-based front-end interface, one should get a doubt where all the uploaded data goes and stay in Cognos. Cognos maintains a dedicated backbone database, is highly scalable, reliable, and capable to integrate with all varied data sources from the environment, can still go into Cognos database, like structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data can go into this database backbone. And the interaction from by the user to the entire Cognos analytics platform simply go in this 3-tier architecture. So there is no need of installing a special software participants on your machine to do data analytics. All you need is a simple credential login on the IBM cloud, and that becomes your entry point for your analytics experiments from this day on. So you can do from a basic analytics exploration to a data pre-processing at the intermediate, and still build BI reports with analytical value-added insights. That's a passage to begin with. So the 3 tiers form the basis or the building blocks for Cognos BI architecture. Now, on the rich features, if one registers on Cognos BI, how are the rich features that make it widely accessible for the end user environment? The most important feature of Cognos is whenever we are dealing with the data, we already discussed yesterday and from our experience that the typical size of the data that continuously keeps on growing is a definite challenge in our legacy IT. Consider the case of a database management system where we are trying to design a logical schema of the database, trying to create database objects like tables, populate the tables with relational data or tuples. If required, we'll create a data model by doing the natural joins and then start querying the data. Such a complex schema experiences 2 difficulties basically. One is, as the size of the business or data model keeps growing, the environment, the schema structure also enlarges. Such a continuously modified reengineered schema would really challenge the querying capabilities of the environment. When we fire queries, trigger queries against those schemas, the processing time of the relational query would indefinitely become higher and higher. That's why there are optimization techniques for tuning performance of the database system still, but nonetheless, these difficulties are becoming more complex and typical when we deal with big data environments in reality. Unlike this, Cognos simplifies this problem by not focusing on this space and storage constraint. So the client server or the Cognos server interacts with varied formats of data by uploading them into different file sizes. Although there are still restrictions on upload limit, which I will reveal in the coming minutes, what is the file size limit. Then load balancing, which is most important. As and when streaming data come from the real world environment, you can make the streaming data get occupied into the Cognos content repositories and then continue live analytics on it without any rendezvous synchronization explicitly required between streaming data and analytics. As we know, data warehouse manages the historical image of the database. While all online transaction data are managed by the OLTP ODS, all historical data image backup is maintained in the data warehouse. So OLTP and OLAP processes are effectively managed by the Cognos BI platform. Then, as already briefed out, it is highly scalable platform. As and when data formats vary in the real world, still Cognos keeps pace with connecting to multitude of data formats without much difficulty. And then it also has an inherent connection with multiple RDBMSs, like the prominent database technologies in the market, which are available, familiar to all of us, like be it an open database system, relational database system, like Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle systems, or MySQL is prominent database technologies, still can integrate seamlessly, effortlessly with Cognos, transferring the data assets from a DBMS environment to Cognos Analytics for data modeling. And at the last but not least, the uncompromised security of data. Each user has a dedicated storage mechanism and access rights on their data artifacts. Even if you are working as an individual owner of the account, or if you have a project team collaboration where you are supposed to share your data modules or uploaded data files or dashboards, reports, or story points, can all be safely and securely in a much authorized and authenticated manner. All this data collaboration takes place. Thus, with all these feature enrichment, it is clear that the Cognos selection of Cognos BI for data analytics is undoubtedly one of the best choices. The competitors for Cognos BI analytics typically are from Microsoft's Power BI, Tableau, other lead product of business intelligence. While Tableau and Power BI claim themselves as leaders in business intelligence area, Cognos claims itself as the niche market service provider. That is, if you see Gartner's Magic Quadrant, Gartner divided all the IT vendors into 4 quadrants: leaders, niche market players, visionaries, and other categories. While each of the business intelligence service providers find their claim in the Magic Quadrant of Gartner, Gartner identified Cognos as not as a visionary or leader in the competition, but a very solid niche player that makes its identity unique. The essential work culture in Cognos is transform the raw data volumes into stunning visualizations, connect the independent visualizations into homogeneous single centralized dashboards, and present all the rich insights of the business process data as a highly interactive, explorable dashboards. Not only that, sharing the dashboards and reports in a collaboration form is also possible. This is why one of the prominent identity for Cognos becomes end users prefer this as choice for their data analytics. Added to this primary, the technical features, as we already discussed in detail, being a web-based application, no need of any physical installation of the software on your machine. Only you need to register your account for a subscription. Later on, you need to go if you're interested to buy this product from the IBM suite. Then proper data management with scheduling, that is on-demand refreshing scheduling. That is, once we upload our data and try to maintain it in the Cognos warehouse in the backend, the dedicated DBMS or the warehouse repository, on-demand scheduling and refreshment of the data and accordingly scheduled refreshment of the dashboards are highly manageable. And nonetheless, data protection is the key feature. So having these basic features at hand, Cognos becomes the entry point for data analytics to support entire analytics lifecycle. If you recall the entire life cycle that we witnessed, the journey of organizations switching to analytics starts from the data collection, data understanding, data preparation, visualization and analysis, and then finally generating the insights of the business. That was the life cycle. Yesterday, I could present all to all the participants in day 1 session. Such analytics life cycle can greatly be operationalized, implemented, and continued with Cognos Analytics. Now, we would look about some of the operational features that is one of the important point to discuss before we start our hands-on experience today. The data features stand in one side, reporting features of Cognos on the other side. The data features simply start with understanding the data assets. Like if you would like to upload your organizational data, which is stored in different formats, like they can be in flat files, text files, Excel, CSV, or they might also be made available in a database management system also. So you can begin with uploading your data assets and then try to blend, enrich the data by building a data module. If we deal with independent data set at the least level, at the highest level, the real world data sets or the data components can be integrated, and a relationship, a referential integrity relationship model can be developed like as in a DBMS, and then can be queried analytically. Such a container object which joins multiple data sets or sources and then operates as a package as a higher level element is data module. I'll go more detail in data module in theory and practice also. Essentially, the reporting features would lie around two important elements in Cognos. One is dashboard, which is an interactive graphical UI comprising of all independent analytical insights extracted from data. All are centralized in a single view, higher level view of the data, business data. That is BI dashboards, technically we call. Then on top of the dashboards, to add more value to the business process analysis, Cognos Analytics users also have the facility to create business story points or stories around their data. Stories are nothing but rich insights which are elaborated on textual content with added value-added animations, as if we develop a simple PowerPoint presentation to elaborate a beginner or a newcomer about certain unknown concept. So transforming raw business data into easily readable, manageable stories is one of the most appealing feature of Cognos Analytics. Self-service to start with. With a lot of corporate data flowing around in the businesses, one should find some optimal facilities to do business intelligence. That's why with combining a multitude of data sources being one challenge, as we discussed yesterday, and trying to operate analytical experiments on the varied sources of data in a homogeneous warehouse environment powered by data mining capabilities. All these are available in one space on the Cognos Analytics platform. Now, to deal with files, if as an end user or a beginner, you want to start your journey with Cognos Analytics, you can upload any kind of data files of varied format and start quickly visualizing them and building your analysis, research analysis, and report them, translate into reports also. What are the different type of files that you can upload? Have a quick look at this important beginning point, participants. You can start uploading any of the data assets. Normally, organizations, either of small scale, medium tier, or enterprise large scale, typically prefer to store their data in different formats. Commonly preferred data environments include spreadsheet applications like Microsoft Excel, like XLS and XLSX extension formats. Other than these Excel spreadsheets, organizations also preserve their data in other formats like comma separated value, tab separated value, TSV, tab format, or notepad text files. Apart from this, other integrators are also available like Jupyter files, which have a IPy notebook extension, or compressed files, which are very voluminous in nature and that are still compressed to be uploaded, are also available in Cognos. When we are dealing with Excel, one important point to notice, based on the latest revisions in the Cognos version build that is currently available in market 11, because predecessor versions range from 10 to 9 to 8. Current version, there are minor revisions in acceptance of files, where Excel file formats earlier than 2003, that is prior to 2003 and earlier than 2003, like 95, 97 Excel formats are not supported to be uploaded into the Cognos Analytics platform. Please take a note of this point. So if you're working with Excel, they can be after 2003 formats are all supported for your upload. Then delimited files, that is tab and comma separated, are all available to be uploaded if you want to conduct analytical experiments on this. Then if you want to begin your journey as a very simple level by uploading a simple data set, or after gaining some basic exposure and experience, if you want to gear up and scale up yourself to do more robust analytics or rigor, you can also upload multiple sources of data of different formats and then try to build a relationship model with some referential integrity constraint, and then use the data module, what we call the container of integration of all the sources, which is a building block for data warehousing, and then deploy your analytical experiments on it. As I said, the As and when the backend data gets refreshed in the OLTP, the uploaded new version of data file can be maintained a rendezvous synchronization with the data warehouse. Other restrictions include typically columns with text files. For example, if you have any data set that maintains columns with a text file or binary large object, that is shortly blob. These columns, which are usually lengthier in names as per the ASCII notation, only the first 100 characters of the column name are permitted whenever we are importing such text or columnar based data sets into IBM Cognos import. I repeat, text data or data assets that maintain columnar heading description, which contain as per ASCII max limit 255 characters for a column name, only the first 100 text characters in a column name are permitted to be imported, keeping the space constraints in mind. Then, apart from this, if you are uploading an Excel workbook or a spreadsheet, which actually might have some data filters attached to the data, if any filters are there, such filter are ignored during the import process. Raw data will be taken in its basic form. Also, if you have any calculated fields in your Excel sheet, for example, in Excel, we can create some additional fields by doing some calculation. Cognos considers calculated fields also as raw data only. That's why it cannot differentiate between an original data column and calculated data column. That's why care must be taken by the analyst or data user to make sure if you have any calculated fields that are value added data, you prefer to remove them, like typically like totals, I mean to say subtotals, you can eliminate them from your raw data for better analysis. And another important thing, pivot tables, if any are already exposed, have an exposure to pivot table, which is the rich analytical pivot table, multi-dimensional OLAP modeling tool available in Excel and other tools, software tools also. If you have constructed any pivot table analytical report and you directly try to upload that, Cognos doesn't accept that pivot table because it is already analyzed report. So you need to keep in mind, only upload the raw data in an Excel, CSV, tab separated, or any DBMS, relational database management table also. There are facilities to deal with semi-structured and unstructured data when we try to go for a fully licensed potential product for that. Now, talking about the file size limits, individually each upload that we make on Cognos is restricted to 100 MB in space with a default storage capacity of 500 MB totally. That is, if you would like to upload any CSV file or Excel workbook, you need to make sure its file size is not more than 100 MB. Of course, the administration module is there inbuilt in Cognos for each user. You can raise a request to the administrator, or if you are the administrator of the account, you can increase the file size limit beyond this based on the necessity. Of course, for a fully licensed tool, there are subscription charges beyond the usage of free tier. Currently, the registration of your account is on a free tier. As you know, it is for a 30-day free trial participants. After that, you can go for a subscription purchase from the IBM cloud platform. Based on the data needs for your research and analysis, you can still scale these data limits based on the administrator permissions. Then this was already discussed about the columns with more than 100 character of truncated. By default, all data uploads that we do, that is files, all are routed to a repository location named my content. As always, you can also customize and control the file upload from my content to another repository called team content. I'll elaborate more on this. Uploaded data, once we upload any data into IBM Cognos platform, we can start building our data exploration activity, data pre-processing activity, and then turn those data assets into readable, interpretable visual dashboards and stories and data modules. That is how we'll try to work in the platform. But other than dashboards and stories, a directly uploaded file cannot be converted into a report. You need to convert that into a data module. You need to build a building block data module upon which we will build a BI report. But for others elements, dashboards and stories, you can directly access the data and turn them into BI dashboards. So regarding the administration also, for the benefit of participants, we are giving some insight into this. Upon login, upon sign in into your Cognos Analytics account, there is a module called Manage. Under the Manage module, you can visit the configuration section and system and control the data usage limits. So as I said, the individual file upload limit per user per file is 100 MB default, with a maximum size limit of stored data not exceeding 500 MB. These are the defaults. You can still change these configuration settings with prerequisite administrator privileges so that you can scale up this storage. All this come under again subscription charges for the user, not on the free tier. For a free tier, these are the default access permissions in terms of data storage and usage. Now, how to start with the file management? Imagine you have an Excel workbook with you or a CSV file with you. Any of the file formats or a database management system, you have environment of SQL Server, Oracle Engine, or any MySQL like environment you already have on your computer. You can push the data into the Cognos Analytics platform through the upload process. Once the data are uploaded, you can start experimenting by turning the data set to be a data module or a dashboard or a story point or even a report also. That's a journey to begin with. So at this point, I would like to show some kind of hands-on exposure to our participants. Let me share here. Participants, can you see my web browser screen? Is it visible to all of you? Right. So I hope all of you received some basic information from support team members regarding your registration of IBM cloud accounts. Please confirm on that. All of you received, completed the basic registration. Yeah, thank you for that. So now let's become an IBM Cloudant and start exploring our analytics journey. You can directly go to your IBM Cloud or open Google and you can type IBM Cloud. All participants are requested to follow the on-screen instruction and accordingly do the hands-on on your systems. This is the IBM Cloud. Begin journey to the IBM Cloud, right? You can start entering into your IBM Cloud. Or directly you can go to ibm.com. You can typically go into the ibm.com. Put it here, please. You can see here on the IBM Cloud platform or the ibm.com website, you have the login associated. So please choose the login. You need to first complete your sign up process, that is registration, and get your account verified with the IBM. Once you are a registered and verified, authorized and authenticated Cloudant user, you can start logging into your IBM. Hope all of you can see my IBM login screen. Please make sure you have my screen in front of you parallelly before you do the hands-on. If you have unable to see the screen, please ping me in the chat. I will reconnect again. Hope the screen is clearly visible on the IBM. Now I'll just enter with my IBM credential that I have with me. I have multiple credentials. Thanks to the support team for providing credentials. Enter your IBM registered ID, participants. Click continue. Supply your password that you have registered at the time of registration. And then click login. Will be redirected to the IBM account that I have set up here, or we have all set up. Each login might have a verification process, typically to make sure the user using the platform is a secure user. So I'll just validate my login. Typically is not required. If you're not using the application for longer time, a periodical checkup is required on all cloud platforms. Let me validate my account login activity. I'll just to keep time and space, I might try with other account also that I've been doing. You can see now I'm in redirected to my file page. Let's take this one. Just say this. I think I just logged in. Let's log out and try again. Right, I'm just logging in again on the IBM.com login page. I'm being redirected to my account, as you can see here. This is the IBM login homepage. I'll just move to my IBM. You can see here after logging in, you have my IBM to confirm your identity access management, profiling page, billing, and others. Billing is when you try to use beyond subscription and other extra facilities. So after logging in, you can navigate to my IBM page. This will lead us to the page where we have our services set up, active and running. So make sure participants, all those who are doing hands-on with me, are currently navigating to the products page. After logging in, make sure you're all on your products page. All participants, please confirm whether you could reach out to this page after logging in. We have already set up the Cognos Analytics trial, right, in the services section. I hope all of you have activated your Cognos Analytics on Cloud trial, which is a 30-day free trial here. You can see the date of expiration. This usually requires for the setup process and quickly gets activated in few minutes. Once you are in the products page, you can click on the launch button to redirect yourself to the Cognos Analytics platform. So what we did so far is we would connect to the IBM.com, perform a login activity, navigate to my IBM page, and then validate our products by setting up them active subscription, and then start navigating into the launching the application. This is the home page after login. I'm just zooming it for better view. This is the Cognos Analytics initial look and feel page once you log in. Please confirm participants, those are doing hands-on, could you reach out to this page on your side also? Those are doing the hands-on, you have registered the account, you can make sure you are following this approach. Now, once we are into this page of the Cognos platform, you can see initially that we have the privilege to start working with Cognos Analytics by uploading the data afresh from our local drive or other repositories, data connectors, or alternatively, we can create our own data from the existing data that is there in the repository. So you have two options to start your journey. One is completely upload your own data asset that you have on your local drive or your computer or any other storage container. Or if you don't have any data at hand to experiment, Cognos has some inbuilt samples for beginners. We can create the data from the existing samples. So I hope the support team already mailed you the data sets. Could you all receive? Could you all receive that, participants? Please confirm. There are two data sets. No credit card is required, as a person. No credit card is required. Usually in cloud platform of IBM, you can start registering as an cloud end from your regular mail ID, get the account verified, and then start accessing. It's completely free trial. Yeah. If you are trying to go beyond the free tier and start subscribing, then you might need to go into a enterprise tier or a service tier. Based on your needs, you can prefer your environment services, storage and computing services. Accordingly, you can select. Rest of all, to begin as a beginner, it's all free trial account only. Yes. Hope everybody got it right. Now, we have shared two basic data sources, two CSV files. One is a sales data, one is market research bike manufacturing data. Yes. We have already shared here how to create a 30-day free trial sign-up account link for your information. Anybody who needs some assistance regarding signing up free tier account can please check the chat, Zoom meeting chat, live chat. You can click up on the link, hyperlink, web URL shared by the supporting assistance personnel. You can still complete your sign up process. Those who have already successfully signed up their account and logged in and are now in Cognos Analytics Workbench, data mining workbench, can now start uploading your data assets. For your information, participant, we have shared two data sources. Both are CSV files initially to start with. One is sales.csv file, one is bikebuyer1.csv of different data domains. Make sure all of you receive the files and keep them on your local hard drive, either downloads or desktop or whatever you're convenient, wherever you're convenient. Now, once we are done, we can start uploading our data. So to upload data, simply there are multiple ways for you to start uploading. You can click on the upload data and start creating content push button, or you can navigate to the open menu here. You can go to the top navigation resource button here. You can see the home new upload data functionality is available here also. So either you can go here directly upload, or you can also use the upload data functionality available under the resource manager. Right. So I just click on upload content here. As you can see, Cognos is asking, do you want to add some file? You can upload some supported file types. Already some input was given in the technical presentation about what file formats are supported here. So I'll just click on add file button here. And I have several data sets that I have with me. I would like to browse my file that called sales file here. I have both in CSV format and Excel format. Initially, I'll upload a sales in CSV format. Click open here. Now you can see the file upload process is going on. If already the file exists in the environment, a pop-up comes that the file already exists. Do you want to replace that? You want to replace, or if you want to append that, you can. So what I do is initially I'll go to my content folder and delete that file. So how to see the content? You can navigate to the content folder. On the resource page, you have the content folder repository. You can see how different data sets are already uploaded during our early demonstration. There is a sales.csv file. You can click on the actions menu button. Initially, for beginner, there is no file uploaded for you, but already I have uploaded it before the session. I'll delete the instance of the data. I'll just delete. Now there is no instance of the data. I repeat the process again. I go to upload data functionality, choose my sales asset, data set, and start uploading. Now you can see the file initialization process is going on. Based on the volume of data, the upload process takes some few seconds to minutes. Now, once we have uploaded the data set, you could quickly notice here, participants, whatever data asset that you uploaded, it is now uploaded here, where it is being reflected. By default, all Cognos Analytics user uploaded data will be contained and maintained under My Content element or My Content tab. I repeat, once you choose to upload your data set, by default, all the uploaded data assets would be made available for the user to access under My Content. The name My Content itself says it is your private data under your account. Alternatively, you can also make the data accessible to your co-workers or collaborators in the project by moving the data asset from My Content to what we call team content. As the name says, team content is typically required when more than one collaborator are working on the data set. Although it is individual account login, as an administrator account you logged in, you can add users. You can collaborate with other users in the environment to make your data set accessible to others. Apart from the my content and team content, you also have a default samples tab. When you click on the samples tab, participants, you can see a breadth of data assets are available, which are inbuilt and are segmented by different areas, like by feature, by industry. For instance, you don't have any data to upload into Cognos. Directly you can log in, connect to Cognos Analytics platform, and you can browse, search for different default data by which are available once you start using your Cognos Analytics as a registered user. If I click on by industry, now you can see here the distribution of data sets, sample data sets by industry, automotive industry data sets, banking industry data sets, education related data sets, so on and so forth, are made available for a beginner. If you would like to experiment your Cognos Analytics data exploration, pre-processing, dashboard creation, such activities, if you are interested to do in retail segment, you can click on retail segment category and start using the inbuilt already available assets which are available in this category. Unlike using the default samples, if you would like to work on an independent user, have your own data set created or fetched in, and try to upload into the Cognos Analytics platform and have access to those uploaded files from the My Content folder. Please confirm, participants, all those are doing hands-on. Could you understood the initial operational experience of signing up the account preliminary, which is a prerequisite? Once signed up, log into your IBM Cloud account, then navigate to the product My IBM page. Under product section, have the 30-day trial of IBM Cognos Analytics set up and active. Once it is active, launch the environment of IBM Cognos Analytics and then start interacting with the environment by trying to upload your files. Sharadji says log in my IBM account. I mean, you have logged in, Sharadji, or do you have any issues in logging? Please let me know clearly. Already did you log in your account? If you're logged in already, you can start uploading your files. We have shared 2 CSV files for your information. One is sales.csv, one is buyer1.csv, which are for our practice experience. So you can pick up any one of the CSV files. You can start uploading. Once again, I'm demonstrating, participants. You can go to the open menu, resource button, and choose upload data. Click on upload data functionality in the menu, and then start browsing the data file which is available on your local hard drive. If you have already received from the support team, please download those 2 CSV files on your local computer drive and then start connecting those data sets to the Cognos platform. That is a very simple activity for a beginner to start the journey with uploading data into Cognos. Hope any others are all clear on this initial demonstration of introductory with Cognos Analytics. Right. Now I am switching to my presentation. I'll be switching between my technical presentation and Cognos platforms. So try to get a hold of it. Participants, can you now see my technical presentation here? Is it visible to all of you clearly? Yes, thank you for the confirmation. Now imagine we have uploaded one CSV file. What should be done next? After uploading our CSV into Cognos, as I briefed, you can start your journey by building a data module around it or directly creating a dashboard or story on the uploaded data. Of course, for a dashboard and story, you need to wait for a few more days in the FDP journey, but I will just give a glimpse of what are all this. First, uploaded data can undergo a rigorous statistical, visual exploration and analysis. Also, multiple data sources can be uploaded individually, and then they can be combined using the data module capability. That is where the appeal of integration of data, because in business intelligence, as you recall the architecture that I presented, the very first layer is data sources layer. The next layer is staging layer, that is operational DB. Then comes the foundation layer of building the warehouse, and then analytical layer and presentation layer, all are reflected here, one after the other. Now, data sets, these are all things that I've already explained. Data module, talking about the first foundation building block in Cognos, data module. While individual data assets can directly put forward for analytical exploration or pre-processing or dashboard modeling. But when we talk about real world, where real world contains various data sources, for instance, in a DBMS schema, there are many database tables. A data analyst or a SQL query analyst requires to first join all independent database tables using certain data pre-processing and blending techniques, and then collectively query all the data on those blended or joined tables. This is the fundamentals concept that we draw from our DBMS concepts nomenclature. Same way, data module is a web-based feature in Cognos, which allows the data analyst to fuse, that is join, combine multiple data uploads into a single homogeneous data. So you can imagine it as a package or a single container. Data module can be assumed as a single container of multiple data uploaded files together. But so far, we have uploaded only one single CSV file, which is independent, and it doesn't have any allied connected other data sources. But if you have to query data from multiple sources, upload all the data assets individually, and then connect them as a data module before you take it forward for analytical querying. Data modules are the basic module built on top of your data sets. Now, if you would like to see how a data module looks like, once again, I'll be switching to my Cognos platform here. Hope you all can see my Cognos platform again, participants. If not, I'll just share it again. Yes, right. Now I am in the Cognos Analytics platform stream. To view the content, always make sure you go to the open menu and click on the content folder. And by default, all uploads are redirected to my content area. Under my content, I already have sales.csv. So under the action menu, when you hover the mouse on the object, you see the action menu, 3 ellipses button. When you click on it, you get the privileges to do either a data exploration, build a dashboard, or create data module also. So how did I get this? After I click on the action menu once again, just a second. Once I click on the action menu, I have options in my pop-up menu that I can create an exploration or a dashboard or a module. Alternatively, you can go to the open menu, and here you find the new option here. One way is to directly access the uploaded data file and do your required analytical activity. Other way is you can go to the open menu resource button and you click on new option here. Under new option, you can see different features or functionalities that you can perform in Cognos platform. Like you can create a new data module. You can do an exploratory data analysis, which is our tomorrow's day 3 activity with more rigor hands-on experience, or directly you can create a dashboard, graphical dashboard, or a report or story. Make sure you build a data module first before you are turning the data into report. That is a prerequisite for report. So what is a data module? So let's now learn the essence of building a data module in Cognos. First step is uploading data is completed, participants. Now I'm moving on to working with data module in Cognos. So click on data module here. To create a data module, the essential step is user has to tell to Cognos on which data source you are planning to build your data module. Already we have uploaded sales.csv in our Cognos database as we have completed that step. So on this sales.csv, I would like to build our data module. So I choose one of the data source as sales.csv file here. So I just click OK. Now I am redirecting to my Cognos data module page. I repeat, the next step after data upload is trying to connect those data sources to build a data module for building a analytical model around it. All participants, please confirm whether you could navigate to the data module page on your machine. Those are doing hands up. If you need any assistance, please ping me in the chat. Simple thing is we could go to the open menu and say choose a choice of new option in the menu, and I have chosen data module. To create data module, essentially you need to have your data uploaded, whether it is a CSV file or Excel workbook or any database table. How to connect to databases? I'll just show the integration of databases to analytics in the coming minutes for you all. Now, this is essentially the data module screen that you're seeing. The three elements are fundamental in data model. You can view your data as a grid, two-dimensional grid, or if you have multiple data files available, you can still build a relationship model between the data, like an entity relationship diagram in DBMS. And you can also create custom tables from the available sources and build a data module and take it forward for analytical querying or dashboard building or anything. So by default, in my sales.csv file, which is uploaded, if I click on the grid item here, you could see a two-dimensional grid generated for your sales. So click on sales.csv and click on grid. Now you can see the CSV file, which is uploaded and appearing as a grid in Cognos platform. How did I get this? Click on the object sales.csv and choose the grid option in your data module web page. And you could see the raw data, which was uploaded initially a few minutes ago on our Cognos DB. So this is how you see your grid as. Then what is relationships here is, this is not exploration, participants, for information. Exploration is different from data module. Data module, you can consider it as a basic building block, as a transformation activity that you would try to build up initially to conglomerate multiple data sources. So if I hit relationships tab here, how many data assets we have? As you can see here, in relationships tab, I have only one object, sales.csv. But typically in a real world environment, you might have to work with multiple data objects, where you can place those data objects in the relationship screen and try to draw a referential integrity here. You can draw certain relationships on this. Because I have only one data asset here, no need to go to the relationship segment. But when you have multiple data sources that you are trying to integrate as a data module collectively, you can set up relationship constraints, referential integrity, like what is a primary and secondary data assets that you can define. Then custom tables can also be created here. When you click on custom tables tab, Cognos is asking the user, do you want to create a custom table from your data? If you click on create custom table, it is asking which table you want. Usually this option is required whenever you are connecting a database connector to your Cognos, because a database is usually a large schema of collection of database objects like tables. Tables in turn contain tuples, attributes, etc. This type of modeling is required typically for which type of environments? Only when you're dealing with database management system connections. But for a simple basic data object like an Excel workbook or a file, you don't require this activity. Directly, you can start exploration of your uploaded CSV or Excel workbook. One more point to add here. Whenever you are uploading an Excel workbook or participants, make sure By default, an Excel workbook has 3 sheets, namely sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. So if you directly upload any Excel workbook, by default, Cognos Analytics accepts only the data in sheet 1 only. Please take a note of it kindly. Sheet 1 content are considered as Excel workbook. Then what about content in sheet 2, sheet 3? That you have to explicitly upload as independent workbooks, because by default Cognos reads the sheet 1 by default. The data in sheet 2 and sheet 3 or other sheets must be individually additionally uploaded as independent Excel workbooks. If you have multiple Excel workbooks uploaded, then you can start building the relationships between each of the data in the workbook and set up a referential integrity. Such becomes the data module. That's why integration collection can be realized if you have multiple data sources with you. That was with the simple upload. Now I would request the participants, could you give a try to upload the other CSV file that we gave to you named bikebuyer1.csv. This is one simple sample sales.csv that we have uploaded. I would request all the participants who are doing hands-on, please try to upload the second data set that we gave to you for your practice, bikebuyer1.csv. If I would like to upload a new data asset, how would I do? Either I can go to my home open menu this time, because first time you logged in, first time as a user logged in, you get that upload data. But going forward, every time you want to upload some new data set, the navigation goes like this. You can go to your open menu and then click on the upload data menu item in the open menu repository or the resource. Then start choosing your file. You can see here we have given another data set named bikebuyer1.csv. Hope you have received it. If you have received, please download them first and have them on your downloads folder or any local hard drive wherever you are comfortable. Then connect the bikebuyer. But currently I am in data module screen. As you can see, how to switch to the content section. You can keep the data module web page active and alive. I could just go to my content section here. All are straight away menu navigations. Click on content. Please check the content section first. Is there any bikebuyer1 file already uploaded and available on screen? Check your account here. If it is available, you can duplicate it. If it is not available, you can start uploading here. So I just go here. After confirming that there is no instance of the data, I try to upload as if it is a first time upload here. Choose my CSV and click open. Now you can see the initializing of the file upload process is going on. Initializing of the file upload process is going on. Based on the volume of the data, the upload process time, processing time varies. Now I have completed my upload process, participants here. Now could you notice here a data asset named bikebuyer1.csv is now uploaded into my Cognos DB and ready to go for exploration or pre-processing or reporting or dashboard creation. I hope all of you could also accomplish this task successfully, uploading a simple CSV file. Likewise, you can upload an Excel workbook also typically, right? These are all these things. As I said, if you would like to view the data in Cognos, like what is the content that remains in this CSV, you can start directly clicking on the action menu and then start exploring the data, visualizing the data on dashboard elements, or you can create data module. So either directly I can create data module here. One way which I showed is to go to open menu, click new and choose data module is one straightforward way. Other way is after you have uploaded your data set, you can go to the action menu there and directly choose the required action. This time I'll go with my shortcut. That is, I'll directly right click on the uploaded bikebuyer CSV and this time I choose create data module. This is another parallel way of creating data module in Cognos. Either you go from the menu option or directly access your functionalities from the uploaded object. Now you can see here the data module for the newly uploaded CSV is available. To view the data, all you need to do is click on the uploaded CSV object, that is name of your file, and choose grid option. Now you can see the data available on the Cognos data module screen. Make sure you could accomplish this task, participants. All operations are very straightforward. You can just upload any data set of your choice and try to view it in the data module grid. Here also we have only one file, so we don't need to build any relationships. If you go to the relationships tab, we have only one data set. But when you have multiple Excel workbooks that you're uploading, you can upload each of the independent Excel workbooks or CSVs and then try to build relationships. Previously, I uploaded another data set here. These two are independent CSV files. And this is a custom table. Upon necessity only, we can create custom tables. So if I would like to create custom table, I would like to select tables here. I have only one CSV file. Naturally, in a database, there are multiple tables. You can choose to include those files and start building your table, custom table. Custom table is nothing but user can select their required objects, that is tables, and their required columns, and build a custom data module for further querying on the data. Any queries, participants, so far? Please let me know. All participants could able to do the Cognos analytics operations, basic preliminary operations of logging into the account, uploading your data assets onto the Cognos account DB, and trying to explore the opportunity of data module within, right? Great. Yeah. If any queries, please ping me in the chat. Now I'm switching to my presentation for further proceedings. Participants, can you see my presentation? Technical presentation is visible to all of you, I hope. Yes. We were working on the data modules part. So I would at this point would like to once again raise a query for our participant. All of you, hope you have clearly understood the difference between what is an individual data set and what is a data module. An individual data set can be a CSV file, Excel workbook, or a database table also. But data module is a functionality for integrating all these individual assets as a collective element, such that can be taken forward for further analytical querying. That's the thing. There is no compulsion that you should build a data module except when you are building a report. You can directly take an individual Excel file and convert that into dashboard, or you can upload a CSV file or text file or tab separated file and directly build a story on it. But when you're building a report, you need to translate that into data module. But I would essentially recommend, even if you're a beginner, to habituate to the practice of building data modules around your individual data set for more in-depth analytical rigorous exploration and analysis. Apart from data modules, we also have other beautiful facilities in Cognos platform. That is, once you upload your individual files or data sets, you translate that into data module. You can further use that data module in your project for exploration into dashboard, visual dashboard creation, or a story point elaboration, or a more comprehensive BI report creation. So for all these activities, data module becomes the building block. Data module becomes essentially the building block for the activity. So next, I would like to comment on the next important feature, which is available in our Cognos Analytics workbench called the dashboard. Cognos dashboard. As the name says, dashboard. Okay, Zoe Vasan, still registration. Please check the connectivity of your internet also, sir. You can just check it. Once you are confirmed, you can log into your this thing, because you need to confirm the registration and then proceed to the activity that is being demonstrated. Okay, fine. Sorry. Explore powerful visualizations in data. Once you have your data asset readily available as an individual asset or a data module, you can take it forward for discovering rich visual insights or patterns among the data. See, Cognos portal is not directly available. You can go onto your IBM cloud. Yes, you can go onto your IBM cloud and then set up the service. Activate your free trial of Cognos Analytics trial after logging into your IBM cloud account. Once the service request is raised, the subscription is set up and activation, then you can launch that service. Yeah, that is how it goes on, right? There is no direct login to your IBM Cognos portal directly. Yes, great. Now, once we have the data environment set up, we can then translate that data into rich visual insights by populating all visuals by first creating different individual visuals through data exploration facility, and then transfer them onto a dashboard and collectively present all rich visual insights as a BI dashboard to the organization. These dashboards are used by all levels of the organization, ranging from strategic leaders to the tactical line managers or line of business managers, and even an operational data analysts also. That's why most important element for any data analytics platform, not only for Cognos, other competitors like Tableau or Power BI, they essentially provide this feature as one of the pivotal feature for analytical tools, building BI dashboards. Now, how to begin with? There is a very minute explanation in this slide, but when we look into the elaborate session on dashboards on day 4, you'll get the workflow of how to build a dashboard. For point of time, you can understand to build a dashboard, the initial prerequisite is have some data source at hand. You need to have some data asset uploaded on your Cognos to get started by building a dashboard. There are different design and layouts that you can build with dashboards. Users can choose from available dashboard layout templates that are available for your choice. And a simple walkthrough is you can drag and drop your data asset parameters columns onto the dashboard and your visuals get created automatically. I'll just simply demonstrate this on Cognos for your understanding. Imagine now I have my data asset uploaded. Either I want to create data module, I could, or otherwise I could directly connect to my data asset to build dashboard. Let me close the open pages here. Yes, now on my content page here, you could see the sales asset available. Yes, it is available here. From the action menu, I could create a dashboard directly, or I can navigate to the open menu and choose new item and start building my dashboard. I hope you all can see the initial dashboard creation screen here. How did I navigate to this? Again, on the open menu, click new button. Make sure the data on which you are building dashboard is already uploaded in Cognos DB. Then I was talking about these layouts in the PPT. Different template layouts are available for you to choose from to build your dashboards. Once you choose your layout, and you can connect your data set, pull the parameters, features or variables, and plug into the dashboard to generate your required visual insights. For information, this activity will be done on day 4 participants in more in-depth rigor. Then, apart from the dashboards, we also have other features to be understood to use the comprehensive suite of Cognos. That is, this is how typically a dashboard looks like. I hope you can see now my PPT. After I have my data uploaded or translated data module, I can convert that into dashboard. A Cognos Visual BI dashboard typical example is presented here on screen. You have a multitude of visualizations, like you have column charts, line charts, you have the tree maps, you have the scatter plots. Everything can be created as individual visualization elements, visual elements, and then collectively integrated and saved as a dashboard project on your Cognos account. Such dashboards give a detailed insight through visual presentations on your data patterns collectively. And further too, these dashboards can also be shared on real-time basis as collaboration to other project members who are working alongside with you. The next component or element in the Cognos Analytics platform is the story point or stories. Now, this might be again a new element for most of the beginners in Cognos, and yet another exciting opportunity for a data analyst or data scientist who would like to explore the potential of the data can look into experimenting with stories. As the name itself says, story is nothing but trying to explore the patterns and insights in the data and trying to present those rich insights as a collection of insights by sequencing them over time. So there is not much a typical difference between a dashboard and story, except that on a dashboard, all elements are visuals. Like collectively, you bring pie charts, scatter plots, bar graphs, or scatter charts, box plots. Different visual elements are created individually in exploration stage, and they are grouped into BI dashboard. Apart from putting the visuals into BI dashboard, Cognos Analytics users have the privilege to use those visual artifacts and present them as rich, explainable, readable, interpretable story points also. So one can understand when we are already doing a BI dashboard, why should we create a story? That's why stories add more life to data artifacts by adding other rigor visual elements, which are straight away much more explainable and readable than usually what a dashboard actually is. So it is imperative that as a BI data analyst, when you're on Cognos platform, you need to start your journey with data uploads, data module creation whenever necessary for integration, and then taking those data sources or data modules further to dashboard creation and story point creation also. It is like you add some attractive narrations. You can generate, you can create your own narrations about the data patterns that would add more value to those visual and try to give a better conclusion of the data interpretation for the end users who are using those dashboards or stories. For instance, you created a dashboard that is explaining about progression of quarterly sales of an organization. You collected 3 or 4 visuals you have created, each explaining how the sales are progressing by time and dimension. Besides these visuals in dashboard, you can connect those visuals of exploratory analysis and write value added narrations behind each and try to add some multimedia effects to make the data business process as a easily understandable story for observers. That's why strategic leaders at organization who normally has to deal with the complex decision making process would expect their operational data analysts to get acquainted with the Cognos Analytics platform experiments and translate the raw, voluminous, varied big data of the business processes into easily manageable, interpretable dashboards and stories. How to create a story? Again, the workflow, the pipeline for story creation in Cognos goes like this. If you have your raw data uploaded onto your platform, or you already built a data module around that raw data, you can then translate that data into a story point. Typically, how to build a story point on Cognos, a basic overview I'll just present for the benefit of participants here. So to create a new story point, which is again a day 4 journey in rigor, we will let you know how to detailed manner how to create a story point hands-on. But for point of time, for the benefit, you can see the navigation here. You go to your new module, new application functionality, then choose what you are going to present to your audience or your project teams. Click on story here. You will be navigating to the story section on your Cognos Analytics participants. You could see that. Please confirm, could you see my current web page of story here? Like how I am trying to show all the elements, building blocks of Cognos Analytics platform, right from data upload to dashboards to story here. Yes, this is how you can do your story. Either you can set up a multimedia slideshow or you can go on a guided journey. For a beginner, you can go with a slideshow setup here, or if you want to have some proven experience here, you can also go with a guided journey. These are all templates, ready to use templates upon which you can build. If you would like to go with a slideshow, I will choose a simple slideshow setup and click on create button for the story point to be created. Then I'll try to use my visual elements that I have created. But where to pull out those? For that, first you have to conduct exploratory data analysis. In the exploration part, you will learn in tomorrow's session with me how to create visual elements, pull the data from the data source and present them as visual artifacts, pin them. You can see the pin button on the left-hand side here, participant. This is called pin. Once you create an EDA, exploratory data analysis, or a BI dashboard, you can connect those elements by pinning them to the story point directly. Either you can build your story from the scratch, or if you already have your visual elements created, directly you can pin them from the exploration module directly to your story and build wonderful story points with value added animations and present it to your audience in greater detail. That is another important functionality feature facility available in Cognos. So at the outset, Cognos Analytics platform is not just a simple data storage system as a DB database. It also had value enriched features by translating the data into format suitable for analysis by integration through data modules, visual interpretation of rich insights through BI dashboard presentation, value added data analysis interpretation using story point creations. This is how the environment is spread out so far. I hope all the participants could understand the essence of why, what, and how of Cognos Analytics data analytics journey so far. Right. Now, behind working with simple data assets like flat files, CSV, Excel workbooks, real world organizations also maintain their data in more sophisticated containers like database management systems, cloud object storages. How could Cognos try to connect to them? Let us have a quick glimpse of that also. So I'll be closing this story web page. I'll also be closing my dashboard web page, and let me go back to my content section. Imagine I'm in my content. As I said, in the content repository, we have 3 sections. By default, all uploads go to my content folder. You can also move the content that you have uploaded from my content to team content. Team content is for public access. My content is for private access. If you would like to further extend your Cognos Analytics experience to the real world data sources connection, a much important learning that you all need to take is how do you manage data source connections with Cognos? Let me take you on a journey on how to get started with Cognos in real time. I'll just cut down some of the information slides here to save our time. Once you have signed in as a registered Cognos Analytics IBM Cloud and log in with your user ID and password, start enjoying the benefits of analytics with this thing. Always make sure to remember each activity that you are doing, like file upload, dashboard creation, story point creation, or data module, all are under the supervision of your namespace. What is namespace? A namespace is like an active repository container allocated by IBM Cloud to each registered user. That's why all your assets, by assets I mean data, dashboards, reports, story points, which you are creating as an author or owner of the assets, you own them. Nobody else will have the right to access them until you are working on a collaboratory basis with prerequisite permissions. So all the data management goes by namespace creation. Other tools like Power BI also follows this approach for your information participants using namespace administration of assets. So this processes we already completed. Typically, I'm just showing you for a recall. Now, once you're signed in, you got your welcome page. I'm recapping all the activity that I demonstrated. Then you started connecting to your data assets by navigating to your welcome page. The welcome portal, you have the team content facility available. You have my content, and whatever the recent actions that you have done are popped as a recent list. So you can see team content is for public folder. My content is for privately uploading, managing your data as a owner or author, or If you like to begin from the scratch, you can choose the new option. This is the old Cognos build version, cloud version. The one you saw or using is the latest improved, re-engineered cloud application version of Cognos. Whatever screens I'm presenting are the old versions of usage. You don't find this in the one that you're currently using. You can start uploading your data, and you can do much more analytical experiments like exploring the data, pre-processing it, translating the data into reports or dashboard story points. Now, data model, I just already commented on it. Then the most important learning that you all should take is about connecting to the data sources. How do you connect to your data sources, right? External data sources. Now I would be sharing the knowledge to you all. Raw data in organization might get accommodated in different containers, ranging from simple file system to more complex database management system or more robust, sophisticated MIS or ERP systems or on even a virtual cloud storage. How can Cognos Analytics needs to gear up itself to have integrations, connection integrations to the real world repositories is what being now presented to all of you. To access the real world data, Cognos maintains different mode of connectivity. One is through dynamic query mode, where you can have an integration with third-party external connectors, environments like RDBMSs like Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle Database Engine, a dedicated IBM-DB2, which is integrated within the IBM cloud as a backbone DB, being scalable, reliable, and flexible environment for containing big data. Apart from this, Teradata, Netezza, all these are third-party database environments that contain data of the business processes in the real world. Through dynamic query mode, using a JDBC connectivity, Cognos tries to integrate with external data sources also. Then, apart from this, the OLAP, online analytical processing data sources, like if you are maintaining an SAP environment at your organization for data management and processing, or if you are using a Microsoft dedicated server where analysis services is an essential component, still you can pull the data from all real-time environments. Of course, I will demonstrate what are the different data source integrators essentially available that you can pull or import data lively on the Cognos platform. There are other sources. Essentially, DB2, as I said, is a dedicated IBM backbone database that you can contain your data for your analytical experiments. But to set up the environment connection, you need to have the essentials like mentioning the name of the database, sign on. How do you want to connect your Cognos Analytics to the DB2 instance through sign on registration, credential validation, and other optional parameters like the connection string and collation sequence. This is the demo of the old versions of Cognos. The screens differ, like what I'm presenting here would actually differ from the actuals what you're using on the cloud. Once you are into log into your Cognos Analytics login platform, you can navigate to IBM Cognos administration. Now, this is the module that you're seeing in the older versions. Now, this has been re-engineered and made much more simple under the manage section. You need to navigate to the administration section, participants, and then you need to go to the configuration tab for setting up your connection parameter. Under the configuration tab, you can see a new setting up a new data source connection is available here. Under data source connection, you can then launch your new data source creation. So what is this step I'm elaborating once again for your clear understanding? Unlike the typical file uploads that we did a few minutes ago, like directly uploading smaller data assets like CSV, Excel files, this illustration is about connecting to more complex and robust data sources like databases and cloud object repository containers. That is how you need to set up your data source connection from Cognos to more scalable object containers. Once you're done, you can now have a quick look at what are the available data source connections that Cognos could connect to on scale. Like it can connect to an Oracle SBase, or you can set up a very most widely used ODBC connection. If you have your data in MySQL and you don't have a MySQL connector available in Cognos, still you can import the data from MySQL database environment into Cognos by setting up an ODBC connection between Cognos and MySQL. Similarly, if you have an Oracle engine running in your computer where you have designed your database system on Oracle platform and you don't have an Oracle inbuilt connector on Cognos, still you can set up an ODBC connection. Apart from this, the list keeps on popping up in current Cognos version. These are all the facilities in older version, as I stressing again. If you look at the current Cognos platform connectors, let me switch to the Cognos Analytics web engine again. Please confirm participants. Can you see my Cognos page again? Web page. I am now switch it to from presentation. I am currently on my Cognos Analytics screen. If you would like to connect external third-party connectors apart from CSV Excel, you need to navigate to the Manage section where I'm hovering the mouse. Go to your Manage section, and under Manage section, there are different customizations possible as an admin user that you can set up. Under this item, you can see data server connections which are available. This item tells that how you can set up explicit connections to your third-party environments, data environments. So click on data server connections here. You'll be redirected to the data server connections page. In this account, the admin user who owns this account already set up some test account setup. So I'm not elaborating on that. But as a beginner, how do you set up a new connection? All you need to do is click on Add Data Server button here. So you need to do 3 steps here, mentioning the credentials, the details, basic details. For example, if I would like to set up some MySQL connectivity, I would simply set up MySQL DB connection. This is the name of the instance I'm creating up, MySQL DB. If you want, you can write a line of description, which is optional again. Then you have to choose the connector type, click on the drop down. You have a plethora of connections. Now you can see here, most of the data is nowadays maintained by business organizations on cloud platforms. One such or 2 such popular cloud platforms for information are Amazon Web Services from Amazon, Azure cloud platform from Microsoft. Apart from this, other third-party data storage containers include Cloudera's Impala. Popular include IBM DB2 backbone from IBM itself, Microsoft's SQL Server environment, which you might have installed on your local system and build your DB. Directly a MySQL connector is there in your Cognos platform participants. You can see that. If you are building your data world around Oracle engine that you have installed Oracle's database system on your machine, you can use the Oracle plugin here for connectivity. Why we are doing this? To establish a data source connection between our RDBMS backend and front-end Cognos workbench. PostgreSQL, several connectivities are available. Even Snowflake DB can also be connected. Big data, Teradata instances can be connected here. Vertica DB can also be connected here. So these are all the available connectors on your Cloudent account, and you can choose. For example, if you are using a Hadoop cluster, big data Hadoop cluster, and you have created any Hive table, you can create a connector to the Hive table and pull the data and start analytically querying it. So thus you can see how the maturity of IT infrastructure is going on in analytics. While early days, where we used to use a robust database system, start creating our database schema, creating our tables, inserting rows of data, and relationally querying, such a system is slowly now migrating from an RDBMS querying system to analytical business intelligence, where plethora of data connections can be established on the available IT, legacy IT infra, and translate that into true business intelligence and data analytics by establishing this backend connections. For a demonstration, I don't have any of these platforms, but for your quick understanding, if I choose a MySQL integrator here, I'll just show the basic steps here. So to set up a connectivity between Cognos Analytics and MySQL, the driver is the JDBC here, the JDBC driver. If you already have some exposure in using MySQL environment, where you connect your MySQL server using a username and password on the local host, you need to mention the host name and port number on which the server is active, up and running. That credential you have to maintain here, participants. And then the connectivity method, authentication for connectivity is in different types here. Either you can connect as an anonymous user without any username, password, credential, or you can force Cognos Analytics before establishing a DSN connection. You can prompt for the user ID and password. Each time Cognos try to talk to MySQL in background to import the data, you can demand Cognos Analytics to make the user enter user ID, password, or alternatively, you can set up a sign-on, additional sign-on. You can set up the sign-on. You can populate your user ID, password, and register. And each time the connection is being created, the sign-on credentials are demanded or requested by Cognos Analytics to the end user. Once you set up this, you can set up your test connection. Like once you click test connection, a initialization will be started between Cognos and the backend DB connection that you're requesting. Authentication authorization, when correctly done, you see a pop-up message, test connection succeeded. So that is how typically we set up a integrator connection between any kind of data storage. For instance, if you would like to pull your data from Amazon cloud, where Amazon Web Services is one of the most market leading web-based cloud computing platforms for business intelligence and data analytics for information. If you like to pull your data from Amazon cloud instance, where data is typically stored on an S3 bucket, that is simple storage service, you can say Amazon, you can type your instance name, Amazon S3 DB Connect. These are all the user given names. You can choose any name from. And here I would like to choose from an Amazon Redshift or Athena. Athena is actually a kind of a component available in Amazon Web Services for information. You can choose to pull it from and start establishing your connection. So this demonstration, I hope, had given some exposure, basic experience and exposure to all our participants in understanding how true BI analytics can get started by connecting the essential building block of analytics, that is data source containers, be it independent or standalone basic file to a more complex DB or remote cloud storage, establishing the integration and further going into the depth of the environment by building data modules, explorations, and then translating those into stunning BI dashboard visualizations or more interpretable, user-friendly story points or reports. That's the journey about the entire from end to end description of your Cognos analytics platform, which is one of the most on-demand market tool platform for conducting organizational business intelligence and data analytics participants. So that's for today's session of this evening on day 2 about quick glimpse or overview about experiences of BI with IBM's Cognos Business Intelligence. In tomorrow's session, we will be using our data assets that we have uploaded today, that is sales.csv, bike buyer 1, and we will be doing 2 of the most important preliminary steps in the data analytics framework, that is exploratory data analysis and data pre-processing implementation on those 2 data sets. Once we get a hold of these 2 essential steps of the framework, then we will move on to building our predictive analytics patterns with dashboards, reports, and story points further. So that's all from my side from today. Shivam, you can open the floor for quick question and answer.
Yeah, sure. Okay, dear participants, now we are open to take your queries. If you have any queries, I request you all to please post your queries into the chat box, and also you can unmute yourself to ask the queries. Yes, dear participants, now we are open to take your queries. If you're
Yeah.
facing any issues or any questions, if you have, I request you all to please post your queries into the chat box, or you can unmute yourself to ask the questions.
On the discussions done so far and the deliberations offered, platform is open.
This
for
is
Q&A.
Zohaib here.
Yeah, Zohaibji. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, initially I missed a little bit of the session of how to register for
Okay.
the crowd, and now it's done. I have done it by watching the
Fine.
video parallelly.
Don't worry, Zohaibji. The support team will assist you in getting registered on your account. Shivam, I think we have some assets for video recording.
Yes, yes, we
So make
already
sure the
shared.
participant receives
Yes,
that
Shivam
video
sir, I have
recording.
done it now with the help of those
Fine.
videos
That's
only.
great, Zohaibji.
And I've
Great to know.
uploaded to CSV. My question was that the database pulling that you were telling about, we were
Yeah.
selecting few databases. So is
Correct.
it possible that I have a database set up in my local host, local computer, and I
Okay.
can put that data from my database to IBM
Correct.
Cloud?
See, that's what customization is greatly possible in Cognos. If you have XYZ database technologies on your machine, all you need to check is whether you have the relevant connector available in the platform. Currently, for the free tier account, what you are seeing, IBM offers you 3 versions of Cognos Analytics on the cloud end: a free tier user, standard user, enterprise user version. So for other than free tier, enterprise and standard users have more privileges related to storage and computing resources. So you can expect multitude of variety of connectors that you can leverage on. But again, all depends on what type of database technology that you are using for your operational organizational needs, why you need to want the support team of IBM to include that connector. You need to have a know-how about those things. Are the available integrators are sufficient enough to manage, or complete the list of available connectors don't match with your available environment? Still, you can get the connection set up on a commercial cost to cost basis, that is pay as you go basis. On demand customization is possible. Hope you are clear. Yeah. Yes. Any other questions, participants? Let me know. The journey is much more elaborated. Tomorrow's sessions are the actual deep dive in for all of us to discover the art and science of analytics when we start our journey with exploratory data analysis, pre-processing, and further to the modeling of the data through dashboards and story point artifacts. The real journey begins with tomorrow hands-on experience. Any other questions are still welcome. Make sure all participants by the end of this evening have your own accounts signed up, signed in, tested the environment, so that by tomorrow's session, before we begin, there should not be any cases of still signing up. Please make sure you stay connected with the support team personnel and get your accounts up and running, participants, so that we can continue on the journey greatly with further on Cognos Analytics Business Intelligence. Sure, make sure all the participants have the credentials registered.
Yeah,
Make
sure.
sure you assist in completion of the sign up. Still, if any profiles aren't done yet, still.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, if no questions, participants, thank you all for patiently listening to me on day 2 also on this wonderful journey of FDP with Cognos Business Intelligence Data Analytics. See you all. Have a great evening. Thank you. We'll
Thank you
join
very much,
tomorrow.
sir, for
Same time.
delivering a very wonderful session. And I hope all the participants are clear with the concepts from day 1 and day 2 itself. If you have any doubt, you can post your queries into the group itself. So thank you very much to all the faculties, and thank you, sir,
Thank
for
you.
joining this.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Now we are
Signing
going
off.
good to sign off today. Thank you. Thank you, dear participants.